Oh, Jesus, the lighting's better this time. I don't know how. Okay. Hey everyone, CW Music Reviews here. I'm CWD, and this is going to be kind of a reaction, processing, thought processing thing. I'm not editing this video, by the way. Of what is to be the last day of Shaky Knees 2016. All good things have come to an end, and I'm glad it's ended in such fantastic fashion, since this is pretty much my favorite day of this festival. Today I got Friday I got this shirt, and today I got a Unknown Mortal Orchestra shirt, but I unfortunately missed that band, but that's just how it is, I guess. So anyway, yeah, who else did I see today? Once again, I went with my brother at Centennial Park, where this is being located. Yeah, and we caught the band Otts. I was really excited for Ott, certainly, even though they just had a 45-minute set. That's how it goes. But yeah, Ott were really cool. They demonstrated a lot of technique and musicality that I enjoyed a lot. Especially love how they played "Beautiful Blue Sky," which was my favorite track of that particular record. Sun's coming down. So yeah, that was cool. Certainly, I do think that Ott was kinda disingenuous, sorta. Like, they were kind of stiff about just being the opening act for everything, or one of them. But still, they did well. After that, we unfortunately had to skip Unknown Mortal Orchestra, since we needed to get a spot for at the drive-in later that night, which I'll get to. So we pretty much hung out around the Piedmont stage, and we caught the Orwells. They were pretty cool. I wasn't really familiar with their music prior to today, really, but it was peculiar. I mean, they did their punk music really well, their indie rock really well. Their frontman was just really out there mentally. Like, he was just wandering around the stage while singing, and you weren't really sure what it is he was gonna do, and that kind of gave things an off-kilter vibe. Especially at the end, where at the last song, he just finished singing his part and just dove in the bushes. And the band just pretty much ended the instrumental aspect quite fantastically, really. He was okay, though. He didn't, hurt himself or anything. He was just getting himself ducked out of view so people could pay attention to the band and themselves, which was pretty interesting. Or that's what I assume he was doing. Sorry, my voice is kind of nasal, like I shit on my nose. Who else? Oh yeah, we also caught Eagles of Death Metal. Eagles of Death Metal I wasn't really too familiar with either. Part of me, a good chunk of me, actually just wanted to check them out because of the bravery they demonstrated, the pretty much kind of respecting and honoring them for what they went through this past November with the terrorist bombings in France. I don't think any band should ever have to go through anything of that nature. But anyway, yeah, they were really cool. They definitely performed incredibly well. Fantastic guitar soloing from both Jesse Hughes and the other guitarist. I can't remember his name. But yeah, he demonstrated a lot of personality, Jesse did, and really was able to keep the crowd engaged and entertained for the entirety of the set. I especially liked how he got off stage and soloed. The soloed right next to the crowd. There were some complications with guitars where he had to switch in the midst of this, but the musical momentum kept going, and yeah, it worked. Then we caught Deftones, and if you've caught my review of the new album, I didn't particularly care for it, but it definitely sounded better. What Deftones were doing. I think that's partially because they weren't playing any of the new songs other than Prayers and Triangles, which I didn't like on the album. They definitely were going for loud and riff heavy like on their albums, but it's more cued. It's not as like obnoxiously upfront. Chino Moreno is an electrifying frontman, certainly, and that's pretty much it. Deftones did an okay job. They did a decent job, so that's the most of what I could have asked for, since I don't have positive dispositions towards Deftones, really. And then we conclude the night with my favorite of this day, and quite possibly my favorite of the entire 3 days, at the drive-in. I realize that Florence and the Machine are great at live performances and all, but dude, you're missing out. But dude, yeah, at the drive-in don't reunite every single year or anything like that. Although it's of my opinion that any collaboration between Cedric and Omar is pretty much some kind of at the drive-in or Mars Volta or Anti-Mask offshoot, but that's a digression for another time. But yeah, oh man, I have no words for what At the Drive-In did. They performed a good chunk of their songs to the letter. I was kind of concerned if they were going to play like Anti-Mask songs or Mars Volta songs, but they did. They stayed true and played At the Drive-In songs. Omar Rodriguez Lopez is much skinnier and shorter than I thought he was, which is fascinating. And he plays guitar like a motherfucker. Cedric, he's not only still got it with vocals, but he's also still got it in eccentric persona and stage presence. I mean, he's out there shaking maracas and playing that air keyboard thing. I don't remember the name of that thing. He's running around the stage, standing on amplifiers, standing on a bass drum. Hell, he even tripped and he was still able to keep going, which was fascinating. I love this stage banter as well. It was just like, comedy just seemed so natural to him, and yeah. So the final song, whose name I can't remember, he pretty much thanked the crowd, and he was pleased that he was pleased that after like so long that he could just go home, go on a plane, go on a bus, and go somewhere, and there being people that still give a shit about what he does. Excuse me. And he pretty much tells us to mosh our fucking asses off, and true enough, we did, and it was fun. My only complaint, though, is that they didn't do an encore. I don't know why they don't do encores at Shaky Knees anymore, or for what it looks like. However, it was disappointing, because they really did have enough time for at least one or two more songs. I don't know. So yeah, those were pretty much my thoughts for Shaky Knees in 2016. It doesn't beat last year, but I think that's just because there were like more bands last year that I wanted to see and got to see, versus this year where I saw quite a few bands, but I've only saw maybe a good chunk of all the ones I really wanted to see. It sucks I missed Savages. It sucks I missed Unknown War Orchestra. It sucks I missed Explosion in the Sky, although I did hear I did hear their set, but I wasn't fully engaged with their set since the Piedmont and Boulevard stages were right next to each other. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this weekend. What were your thoughts about day 3 if you went? What were your thoughts on any of the bands I mentioned? Let me know. I guess engage in conversation. Also, reviews are gonna. I'm gonna try to get reviews back up and going for this week. It's been a really hectic weekend for obvious reasons. Uh, what all I got planned? I got Vector recorded. I need to get that edited. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Gotta get Radiohead and Death Grips recorded. Gotta give James Blake a few more listens and get that recorded. We'll give K Tronada another listen. Maybe listen to White Lung. Gotta get Cavallo Talk and Gorguts listen. Maybe a few other stuff. I got a lot to listen to. A lot to review. This is CW Music Reviews here, signing off.